Welcome back to our Kanto Park build. We're going to finish up the Lapras / Elasmosaurus herd here by getting our shiny out. I pushed social and humble up to 75% apiece at the expense of lifespan. Just to make sure. I was keeping a close eye on the two Elasmosaurs. They're happy right now. I don't know if we had a third, if we'll have space or not. So we'll just do the whole alpha thing here. That's fine. Mangrove Lethal Bait should be the shiny. Grab these two. Currently, we have a new contract. We finished the disease one. This one is to do an expedition. So we sent out just a cheap Nodosaur dig just to get this completed. Nothing consequential, but you know, quite a good profit margin.
I always strive to be the best.
10 times the investment.
And have someone to blame when you're not. Huh? That's just smart planning.
20 times the investment.
Figuring out your excuse in advance.
More than actually.
But with this last objective, you can put all that aside because hurrah, you did it.
Can you be quiet, Cabot? I'm working here. We'll process all these, clear these out. Not with the welfare specialist. Let's wait for the synth to be finished. It looks to me like the shop is not going to ever push or ever pull any viable numbers. Is this the Carcharodontosaurus? No, that was actually the Pyroraptors. Or the Cryolophosaurus, sorry. The icon did not immediately scream to me cryo. For some reason, I think the profile looked very raptor-like, and then my brain went to, we have one raptor in the park, it's a Pyroraptor, and that's not, none of that is correct. It's a Cryolophosaurus. Social, humble, but large appetite. That increases nature needs, which might matter here. Because I think that applies. So here's the difference. 30% environmental needs versus 30% nature feeder needs. Those might just cancel out. In which case it doesn't matter. Is there ever a situation where it would matter that I could think of? I don't know. Curious. Let's just go for it. It might be a net positive depending on how it works mechanically, so I don't know. We'll do you. And then we'll get those fossils cleared out just so that way we're ready for whatever the next real batch we bring in is. Now we could do Anky. Get one of those in. But the research to do in Ankylosaurus is the same cost as it is to do a T-Rex. So I think we should probably do T-Rex. We also need to work on unlocking Spino, which is going to require another very high, expensive research task there as well. So I think it makes sense to do the easier to get big ticket one first, which is Rex. And then use the Rex essentially to finance getting the Spino. And we're going to get that last Elasmo out, but I'm pretty sure we'll just have to shut down this books. Which is weird. Because I guess we just leave the bottom part of the park with no shops active. I wonder if we get rid of these if it ever becomes profitable. Okay. Income is 1.4. And running cost is 12. Income is 400, and running cost is 2k. Yeah, so I mean, this shop never does anything. Seemingly. I mean, this is the better profit margin by far. Curious. Very curious. So we need 18 on this. Was that the full squad? Yeah, that's the full squad. I don't think it's worth the point investment. So I think we'll let the incubation finish and then we do the research. So let's wait for that. Okay, there's the shiny Lapras out and about. More of a purple color, of course, than the more blue regular Lapras is the idea here. Currently, the shiny one is not taken over as alpha yet, which is at least partially why their comfort is low. We might need more space after that, but we'll let them sit for a while and see if this sorts itself out. 91% comfort is not terribly dangerous, so we have to worry about that. You guys just keep fucking dying. I've had like 3 buzzes from Moros going into negative, or not negative, but going into red on HP. We also have an appeal contract. We're going to replace Axew. I already sold off a Dimorphodon, and the 2 of them should be enough to do that. Axew's got a couple of good years left, but we might as well take this opportunity to finance his replacement using himself. So, yeah, that should be good. Limpopo Rana, I'm assuming the same traits are fine. I'm going to just push you guys over. We'll get the other ones to rest. The Tyrannosaurus research is completed, unless I'm mistaken, which I could be. No, it completed. So when the logistics specialist is back, we can look at doing a Tyrannosaurus dig. Get started on that. Somebody else died of old age. Shiny Tyrantrum died of old age. Well, no shit, huh? Imagine that. Not dying of starvation. Oh, no, wait, it's Tyrantrum, not Tyrunt. Right. Mangrove Pulcrana Utyrannus. Okay, we need the alpha status there, too. Let's get that set up. Mangrove Pulcrana. Sure, we'll do 50-50. That seems fine. Okay. Let's wait for that to get done. We're going to take a long-lived egg. We've got a aggressive, intolerant long-lived, and an aggressive social long-lived. I think we'll just skip aggressive here for the sake of not getting our cars destroyed. So there's Axew. That takes our logistics specialist based on having the other people resting. So that's going to delay the T-Rex dig a little bit while that happens, but we'll be getting it done soon enough. We only have $1 million, and I'm pretty sure the T-Rex digs were like $1 million a piece anyway. So stocking up a little bit, not the worst thing in the world. So I made an attempt at one point to expand the lagoon, which clearly pushed out the terrain. Never noticed it till now. I did that before I realized that the alpha was not the shiny. But it occurs to me, I think we might have encountered this before. Well, you're very purple, almost red, pinkish fuchsia looking at you like this. But it occurs to me that from before, I think, in one of the previous Spark builds, I don't think aquatics will change alpha, if I'm not mistaken. So this might be stuck that way. We can also take a look at the books and see that it's not doing anything. So I guess we'll just deactivate. We could try a small building. Let's try that. If we put in the smallest amenity, the profit margins are better. Maybe that makes money. I doubt it. Minus 1,300, minus 4,000. No. So it makes potentially like the income level versus the running cost is better, but it's still negative. Huh. That leaves this island in a weird spot. I'm actually very confused by this, because this is a lot of appeal. 1,200. This is 1,200 appeal in this enclosure, and it just doesn't do anything. I'm sorry, is there a team assigned? Yeah, okay. Yeah, 1200 appeal that's just not powering shops in any way. I'm fairly certain the appeal doesn't travel down the zip line to these shops, but maybe it does? If it does, the previews don't. Because if you go to the views and you look at food and drink and stuff, like, yeah, here, shopping especially is the big clue. This is all highlighted in blue because this little bit of shopping is covering this. But then it looks like we need shopping here at Pallet Town. So definitely the shopping, at least in this management view, doesn't appear to be traveling down the zip line. But I can't explain how there's only 29 customers in this section of town. Unless it's some weird bug effectively with the zip line as the only method of transport to this section. Why don't we do an experiment? If we connect a path up, what happens? So we only see demand in the sections of the park that are actually attracting attention. The dead paths between the sections don't draw any demand. And that, I think, is true in general. Well, it's not true here on the heat map. I don't know. That might not be true in general. Maybe that should be lit up. Why don't we leave that lit? Like, connected up for a little bit? See what happens. Chasmosaurus. And see if that changes at any point. Very strange. And then we do have to deal with the situation here with these guys. We've reset it previously by setting up a second lagoon and airlifting back and forth till we get the one to be alpha that we want to be. We could... I think what we have to do is just give up on the idea of doing an alpha here. And let's just try and get the expanded lagoon sections in. Ignore any talking you may hear in the hallway. Alright. Then, yeah, that'll just get them comfortable in water. Bruh? Where? I wish you would, show me where I am apparently in water. I guess, my guess would be that it's just, we need more space along the edge. My suspicion. Can we do this thing? In water. Motherfucker, what? Whoa. That's weird. That I didn't even try to build it. That was just from hovering over it. Well, that's weird. You're weird, game. Why are you weird? Okay, now is there water? Okay, there was money showing up there for a moment for attempting to remove water, apparently. Obstructed by feeder in water. Obstructed by feeder is an improvement. Because that implies that there's no longer water in the way. Okay, obstructed by Elasmo, sure. Sure. Could you move? Probably not, huh? What are you doing, bud? Hey bud. Hey bud. Can you get your head out of the wall? That'd be great. If you could stop breaking the laws of time and space for me. I'd really appreciate it. How are we doing, Dimorphodons? How many of you are there? There are 6 of you. None of you are named Aerodactyl. Intriguing. Yeah, you're all a little old. Maybe we should squeeze out another wave of Dimorphodons. They're relatively cheap too. Okay. Can you move? Too close. Obstructed. Dear Lord, this is, not quite, doing the thing, huh? Okay, come on now. You can't be fucking serious. Where the fuck is the shiny? Oh, it is right here. I just saw these two were unlabeled. Right, fucking hell. Worry about that later. Nightmare. Nightmare, 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 nightmare. Never build a lagoon like that, I guess, because apparently it's a piece of shit. 6, $1 million bucks. Alright. Well, I'll keep playing with this stupid lagoon. We've reached a new depth of bullshit. This motherfucker. Dying of starvation. Sleeping next to a plate of pancakes. What the fuck is this bullshit? This shit needs to be fucking fixed. This is stupid. This is fucking dumb. There it goes. The Hall of Fame for bullshit. Darwin Award recipient. Moros. Well, it's taken an hour and 20 minutes since starting today, but I could finally send out a Tyrannosaurus Rex dig. So that's progress, right? We're making progress, guys. It's not taking an unbearably long time to do anything, right? I mean, I know a large part of what the issues with this park are, of course. Amenity running cost, $227. It costs more to run our amenities than it does to power this place. It's pretty bad. One major guest issue? Wait, what major issue? The 1% shelter coverage? Is that what you're talking about? Well, anyway, yeah, the amenities could be optimized. The problem is, everything has kind of been laid out for big amenities. Because I basically assumed...
Am I right? Like this next objective.
I basically assumed early on that we were going to struggle
Guest comfort must be
to make our amenity demand. And that's not true.
What is a park full of wonders if no one wants to visit?
Instead, the real struggle has been the time it takes to build everything. Okay, well, you're a dead Tyrunt. Do we have... So we have the shiny, and then everybody else is old. Okay. We could do a new wave of Moros then. Regular Moros. Let's get that. So I think we're going to finish up... We'll get the 5 stars legitimately. A good, stable, solid 5 stars. And then we'll just get the last couple of dinosaurs out I want in proper sandbox mode. Once we made it to 5 stars, I think that's how we'll handle this. Once we make it to 5 stars, the only thing that remains is to finish up the original roster we were selecting for a park. And I don't think there's any reason to actually do that in the regular park if we're in an experience where it's frustrating to do because just inefficiencies that come down to the concept of the park build, right?
Wow. Just wow. I knew you could do it.
Yeah, thank you,
Now
Claire.
you have.
Here's the hall. Crotarsons are a poor attempt at giving us some money back on this. This is going to take a painfully long time, I'm pretty sure. Oh, is the one completed? Really? After a single dig? I thought this was like 4 digs. Because we got 2 fossils back. I guess it's 42% and 55. Maybe the other one we have to go to twice or something. That might be the case. We have a big problem. The problem may not be readily apparent, but it's actually our money. In that the Carcharodontosaurus are dying. These guys are $3 million to hatch one of these guys. Half of which is the synthesis cost. So we're gonna need some of those. So we need, you know, $6 million for those, and the Utaranus have died. We're down to 2, soon to be 1, because this guy's due to tip over. And that's not insanely expensive. That's just $3 million. But the fact is, we need $9 million, and we fucking need it now. And we don't have a good way to get it. Yeah. The park is just, it's not well made because it's the consequence of trying to recreate something and build a park around it. The thing to do would be to strip the amenities out and tighten things up, etc., and so on and so forth. And you know what? I don't think I care at this point. I don't think I care to go back through and try to complete the 5 stars. Legitimately. We're like super close. Why is restroom still down 1%? What are you talking about? I mean, I know we have a new section of the park, but nobody should give a shit about it yet. Is it just that bit there? Like, why? Why? Well, whatever. So yeah, I think this series has gone on long enough. The park build is essentially almost complete anyway. We got Vermilion put in, and that's like the final town. So at that point, it's just the remaining routes over here to connect up kind of these last few segments. And then the build itself is properly done. So it's a weird, awkward corner case of, like, the roster for the park requires us to have multiple large, expensive theropods. And it's just, it's not good in general for park maintenance to have a bunch of things that are like prohibitively expensive to replace when they fucking die. Which is generally why you want to bring those things in near the end and push yourself over to 5 stars so you don't have to breed them back again later. And like, we probably had at one point the appeal we needed for 5 stars. We just didn't quite have the ratings. I probably an hour ago could have slapped down an amenity or 2 near Mount Moon and tipped over to 5 stars with a little finagling. Hell, for all I know, we might have hit 5 stars temporarily and it never like really registered. I would think that if we did, it would unlock everything, but I don't know if there is any. No, there's not anything locked behind 5 stars, so there's no way in game and research tree to like tell if you hit 5. So yeah, I think we're just gonna go infinite cash here because I just need to wrap this up. So we'll see the last few creatures we want to have in the park. This episode we'll get it built and finished, and then next time we'll do a standalone tour of the finished park. I think that's how we'll handle things. We don't need this to be another Jurassic World where I like stubbornly try to do it legitimately, and it takes 20 episodes, because it's going to. What's going to happen here, if we do this legitimately, is we'll remove Carcharodontosaurus in the park. It'll collapse the economy in that section of the park. We'll shut it down. We'll get the Utaranus back in, and then something else will fucking die. We'll try to replace that. Eventually, in an hour or 2 again, we'll find ourselves in a spot where we can actually like do a Tyrannosaurus dig to try and bring that in. Eventually, at some point, we'll get Rex in, we'll hit 5 stars, and nothing will have really changed. It'll have been an hour of nothing but fucking maintenance. And it's I can't do anything with that. Like, I really can't. So we need this to end. So this, yeah, that's the point. That's, yep. Hey, I'd just like to call attention to whatever the fuck is happening here. Are you guys starving? Well, this is certainly something. I can only assume they're like trying to eat from the same feeder and they're like animations of are like conflicting with each other or something. Okay, your other ones are moving. Wait, something happened. Wow, that was... Why did it... Is it because we switched to slow? Do you think the dinosaur AI... Do you think the processing works a little differently depending on game speed? And that it like sorted out because we switched to slow temper? I don't know. He's just back to hovering weird. We're not going to look at him. Okay, our T-Rex is going to be, well, short-lived humble, whatever. Champlain Valley, lethal baits. This will be our Tyranitar. So let's get him going. We've hired another person here because why not? We did temporarily hit 5 stars when I was replacing the Carcharodontosaurus and the Eutyrannus, where we had extra versions of them out because we had the original ones and then the replacement ones going in. So we're really close to hitting 5 stars. The Rex will do it. So we were probably at some window of time able to essentially pull it off. Anyway, I'm working on finishing up Saffron. We've got the other routes and everything is in here. So the park's pretty close to completed. There he is. Tyranitar. That's the best we could that's the best we could do. Hey, he's green and black. You know what? It fucking works. It's a Tyranitar. What do you need, friend? You need sand, you need water, you need to chill the fuck out. All of those things. Sand, 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 sand. Water lives over there, man. Go find the water. It's over in the other direction. Alright, well. We could put some trees in on the borders, which always looks good with the aesthetics this park has been, well, forced to be designed with, I guess, in terms of the rigidity of Pokemon level design. So we can thicken that up, I suppose. Alright, now you have almost enough forest. We could do another lake just to, like, make sure he has water. I would like it to be at the same level. So we'll do something like that and just be like, oh, look at that. It's a fucking lake. We've done it. Amazing. Okay, that'll work. That should be perfectly fine for his territory. It needs area. It still needs a bit of forest, but literally it's only just started making a territory, so this should be pretty trivial. All right, so there's that. Next dinosaur. What am I doing? What I'm doing is pushing Spino. Actually, you know what? We're going to push Anky first. We'll do Spino as the finale. Because that's fancier, right? Oh yeah, that is 5 stars, by the way. So if we would have maybe tightened things up a little bit at the end there, when the Carcharodontosaurus and the Eutyrannus had enough lifespan left, and stopped designing shit like Cinnabar Island, where we had to spend a bunch of money making water and over again, we could have probably pretty easily hit 5 stars legitimately. But I just didn't prioritize the right things, because I wasn't, at the time, I wasn't really thinking it was going to be this difficult to get 5 stars. But Tyrannosaurus is still very expensive to research. I don't know if I actually changed the research cost in this mod. I don't know if Tyrannosaurus made the cut for getting cheapened or not. Ankylosaurus did. But it's still very expensive. So. Yeah, we were close. I think I figured out when my Jeep gets getting destroyed, because it literally just sits here and stops moving in this pad. For some reason, it seems like the attacks might break the pathfinding completely, and the Jeep just stalls out and sits there. Because I was watching it for a good bit before I started the recording back up. It was just sitting there on speed 3, not moving. Well, this Carcharodontosaurus has just got closer and closer. Threatened it more and more, and it just sat there and took it. Weird. It's, I'm gonna chalk that down to large-scale parks with a lot of things tend to start causing the game to break down. Yeah, no, it's the game's being pretty buggy. There's some stuff going on here that's very unnatural. The weird thing is, you watch them and eventually they'll move for a little bit like that. You see? Now that one's moving. But by and large, the Dimorphodons all stay frozen in place in midair. This guy's even clipped into a ledge. Like, what's going on, guys? Okay. It's definitely speed 3 causes whatever this issue is. At least in part. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's weird. Speed 3 is just breaking the pterosaurs. Oh my god, what the fuck? Are they gonna do it again? Yeah. Wow, that's a new one on me, guys. I've never seen that before. Now we can get our Torterra. I really debated this being an Ankylosaur or a Nodosaur because of Torterra, well, it's very Ankylosaurian. It also draws inspiration from a turtle, but it doesn't matter for the purpose of this part. It has a very short tail, and definitely not a tail club. But the way the back looks with some spikes and stuff feels more Ankylosaurian than Nodosaurian. So we went ahead and did it like that. So there's our Anky. At least one, maybe more, I guess. Certainly possible we could have like 2 or something. That's going there. Let's get Spino researched and we can get this shit done. I would like to point out that the park is even more broken than the Dimorphodons would lead us to believe. The Dilophosaurs are pretty consistently suffering from issues too. Right now they're moving, but even on speed 1, I would find them standing around and not doing anything sometimes, which was very interesting. That's why they're starving too. I mean, they're panicking now because the medical team was in here. Oh, maybe it's once the panic stops, they'll freeze in place. Yeah, only one is moving. You're drinking. Yeah, see, you're Blair Witching. Even the goat isn't moving? What is happening? Hunting prey. Maybe this is why we're having... Maybe this is partially responsible for the level of Moros starvation we're experiencing. Because if the Moros are doing this kind of thing, where their pathfinding's locking up for seconds at a time, that makes a huge difference in their survivability. Because they already struggle to just live day to day. This has to be the large map. There's no other explanation for what causes this level of breakdown. It's got to be the large map and the amount of space we've taken here. Because if we look at our dinosaur count, it's 18 species and 82 dinosaurs. Those are not large numbers. The only thing that sets this map apart from other ones is the space and the amount of buildings. Because Saffron City is just a nightmare of shelters. So clearly, the issue with park stability is not strictly dinosaurs or species in the park. It's also just connected to, like, assets in use. Maybe every type of building exacerbates the issue. The number of buildings exacerbates the issue. Hell, who knows? Maybe trees exacerbate the issues? It could really be, like, anything. How is this still infected? How are you only just getting here? Okay, we got our Torterra here. One of a kind. We put him in Viridian Forest. He's not named QQQQQQQ. Because there was just no way he was going to work out if we put him in the Safari Zone where we originally intended to. It was not going to be an option. And he works out pretty well here. Just slapped a bit of ground fruit in there. Actually, an obscenely large amount of ground fruit on accident. But nobody else is upset by this. It's more foresty trees for the environment. So you know what? Fine, it works. I also realized I was missing. Why are you? Oh, you're the one being airlifted in because you got a concussion from smashing my car. I imagine the car pathfinding breaking down is the same thing with the pathfinding of the dinosaurs breaking down, where they all stand still and stop moving. I would assume that's the case. So yes, we've got this guy, who is our shiny Rampardos. I think we intended to get that put into the park a long time ago, and I just forgot. Because we were struggling on economy. Yeah, shiny Rampardos is basically Rampardos, but instead of the blue, it's the red. So that's the pattern. Instead of the blue, it's the red. It's the same base color as the other friends, but just the red patterning. And you know what? It's close enough to the shiny that it was worth doing, for sure. So this exhibit is essentially done with what? 4 Stygimolochs, 4 Pachycephalosaurs, 3 Triceratops, and 1 Alamosaurus. It's very sparsely populated overall for what it feels like it ought to be. But it's just the overlap on these species is just not ideal. There's not really a better way to set this exhibit up, I don't think. It would have had to have been bigger. The Spino is coming along nicely. We'll get that out and wrap up for today. Looks like, yeah, we're over halfway. Probably 1 or 2 more digs. We can get that out, and then... Yeah, this part needed to end because it's clearly suffering. It's clearly a mess. It was fun while it lasted. It was fun up to a point. And then it just became too much. For the game and for me. Interesting experience doing this sort of thing. I do have... There are other builds I have... Let's not say planned anymore. Other builds I was considering on these large square maps. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's too much. It's too much for like a recreation build, at least, I think. I don't have the patience to like design the whole terrain ahead of time. And doing it during the park build, it's too much of a burden on your economy. I like playing on Jurassic. And it just means you can't do these like extremely elaborate builds. It just doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. What I'll do for the other ones that I have planned is try and design maps for them offline. Separate from the normal recording schedule, and like, if I can't get the map made in a way I like, where the whole thing is like designed, like the terrain is designed ahead of time, so I don't have to do all the terrain editing during the series. Like, if I can't get that far, it just won't be made into a series. It'll be killed in its crib and you'll never see it. I think that's how we have to do it, because like this was basically the attempt. So Frontierland was the attempt at designing the terrain ahead of time. The first attempt at that kind of thing, right? And then this was the alternate, the other side of the coin of doing the terrain basically as we build the park. We started in the one corner, got the initial layout figured out, and then just went for it. So those are kind of the two ways to approach square maps. I wasn't happy with Frontierland either, but I think Frontierland, that style of build is more viable for making it work. And we need to build parks that are more flexible in terms of what we actually do with them, I think, which will be true of a lot of my other concepts. So I have a couple of park concepts sitting in, my back pocket to take advantage of these big square maps. And they're very much the case of like, this is the terrain, then go do whatever you want with it. Like Frontierland was designed from the ground up as this like circular big park with these big enclosed nested concentric circles. And a lot of that was the problem with it. Like, if we would have approached Frontierland from the attitude of like, build in this crater and have at it, we could have built a park there that was much more functional and much more easily than we did. And it would have been probably a funner build, because instead I just ended up struggling a lot with the limited range of like the viewing galleries and the consequences that had and stuff like that. Why the fuck do you have fucking common cold, my dude? There's trees in the fucking pen. Go find him. Humble Alpha. It should be fine. I mean, you guys just... You all went interior now for some reason, so you're nowhere near where the trees are. This shit too, man. But yeah, I mean... I'm really worried about the pathfinding breaking down so badly here, because that puts the kibosh potentially on some, not all of the park builds I have in mind. It definitely means I know that the next square park build would do, which is not going to be next build or the build after that. Well, the build after that probably does use square parks, but not the whole park, probably. Getting ahead of myself. Definitely in the future, we'll try to like use the square parks to kind of make our own shape of a map and try to keep it more in the bounds of maybe what the game is meant for. Instead of adding like all these extra buildings like we have here. And I don't think there'll be a problem with the concepts I have. I think it'll work out to be pretty okay. I do tend to ramble in these, don't I? Like when I get into like shit's broken and I'm mad mode. I do enjoy, I guess, a little bit of a rant. Okay, so it looks like that's the last Spinosaur dig. Let's work on that. Hey, what the fuck is this? What was this? What's going on here? Hello? Can I help you? Tyranitar, what are you doing? Oh, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad out here. Go status check him. This is a special, extra special one. I've never seen such bullshit in my life. This is like, oh wait, he has a territory. That's incredible. What the fuck? How does he have a territory over here? What? Wait, how is his health 100%? Okay, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? I just want to play the game. It makes me wonder if anybody else is working. Or if we're all dying. That doesn't look very promising, does it? I'm a little concerned about the park. I'm a little concerned about this here park. Good God. Okay, okay. Oh, my dear. Well, at least the next content will be difficult for an entirely reasonable reason, and not this unending bullshit that this park has devolved into near the end here. All right, let's get Baxcalibur set up. What are we looking at here? We're looking at Valbard Arana by my count. We're gonna do a little bit of the old humble. I don't know if that makes a difference. I mean, we might as well put it in. The water one would probably actually be good to do here, but I'm not gonna fucking bother. Alright, let's go figure out what's going on with our fucking T-Rex. I'm a little worried it's dead and zombified. I'm a little worried it somehow lost all its HP without us knowing, just because I don't trust that it's at 100% starving and frozen in place. There we go, 85%. Yeah, see, the game needed a moment.
One of the greatest bite forces ever recorded.
Hello? Hello?
But a single bite from T-Rex
Tyrannosaurus? Can I help you? Yeah, there you go, buddy. There you go, buddy. Go find that goat. Can't help but notice your territory didn't follow you. That's concerning too. What are you guys doing? What, I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. We could try reloading. I'll probably reload before we do the tour. Although, no, I'm wondering if we even get a fucking tour out of this park, or if it's just basically completely broken at this point. I think... I would imagine we have to have been having some of these problems longer than it took me to notice. Because there's no way it, like, flips a switch and then the pathfinding breaks all at once on everybody. It has to just, like, started breaking in piecemeal, right? One dinosaur here and there freezing up at a time. Not this, like, slideshow shit. Right? And that's probably... We probably felt the impacts of that on some things. Did you eat? You ate. You think are really fucking hard about taking a drink. Really, really struggling. He's just like, I don't know, man. It's just regular plain water. It's not even grape flavored. Are you gonna make me drink this shit? If I just wait here long enough, will they bring me like some Kool-Aid? Unbelievable. Alright, there's our Excalibur getting in here at the very end of the build. It's been a while since we actually had a Spino in a park too. Excalibur, of course, is a shiny new Pokemon who is a an icy Spinosaurus, which is interesting. Now, I've observed one thing here with our little glitch. It looks to me like pausing it resets it. Also, I kind of like the Jeep getting rocked here. That's a pretty good thumbnail. That's pretty high tier. Yeah, so it looks to me like basically, I mean, this sucks. This is bad. It's not good. But the way to like mitigate the problems is to like pause and unpause your game. Like a lot. It's pretty fucked. It's not anywhere even remotely resembling good, but it is a work through. Now, I believe this was episode 11. So we'll end this run here. We'll do a tour. Also, this Spino pen apparently is perfect. Like, it could be half the size it is. I thought it would have taken up a larger pen, but apparently not. Apparently, that's just fine. So yeah, this is the end of the park build. This is the complete roster. Let's go through it real quick. We've got 3 Elasmosaurus / Lapras. We've got 6 Dimorphodon / Aerodactyl. We've got everything else. We've got 1 Tropius, 3 Haxorus, 6 Aurorus, 1 Torterra, 2 Meganium, 3 Garchomp, 16 Bastiodon, 1 Kommo-o. Fuck, I don't remember that one's name. Jangmo-o, one of those. 5 Sceptiles, 10 Marowaks, 7 Tyrunts. Oh yeah, we have completed genomes that were never used. This threw me off for quite a second. Wow, multiple completed genomes that were never used. That's all just from contracts to do expeditions. That's crazy. 4 Rampardos, 4 Grovyle, 1 Excalibur, 4 Cranidos, 3 Aggron, 1 Tyranitar, and 4 Tyrantrum. We got it mostly. We mostly got the names. Okay, well, that'll be it for this episode. Next time we'll do a tour video again and a showcase, whatever. Then after that, we've got a nightmare in store. A nightmare of my own making, which should be very exciting and has been promised for quite a while. It's the super challenge mode. It's progressing. It's close to being ready. It should be good to go.